Learn to say no. Level B1. Have you ever felt the weight of saying yes to something you didn't want to do because you were afraid of disappointing someone? It's a situation many of us know too well, and it highlights one of the hardest lessons in life, learning to say no. Today, I want to explore why this simple word is so powerful, why it's often so difficult to use, and how mastering it can lead to a happier, healthier, and more balanced life. Saying no might seem like a negative act, but in reality, it's an essential tool for protecting your time, energy, and mental health. Think about this. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't serve your goals or well-being, you're effectively saying no to something else, often to your own needs. For example, you might say yes to staying late at work, which means saying no to spending quality time with family or pursuing a hobby that brings you joy. Over time, these small compromises can add up, leaving you feeling overwhelmed, unfulfilled, and even resentful. Why is it so hard to say no? For many of us, it's because we don't want to let others down. We're taught to be agreeable, helpful, and accommodating, often at the expense of our own well-being. There's also a fear of conflict or rejection. What if saying no damages the relationship? These fears are natural, but they can trap us in a cycle of overcommitment and stress. Now, let's reframe the idea of saying no. Instead of thinking of it as a rejection, think of it as an act of honesty and respect, both for yourself and for others. When you say no to something you can't handle or don't genuinely want to do, you're setting clear boundaries. These boundaries communicate that you value your time and energy, and they teach others to respect your limits. Learning to say no starts with understanding your priorities. Ask yourself, what matters most to me? What are my goals? Once you're clear on these, it becomes easier to recognize when a request doesn't align with them. For instance, if your goal is to improve your health and someone invites you to a late-night party that disrupts your routine, it's okay to decline. You could say, I appreciate the invite, but I need to prioritize my health right now. Another helpful strategy is practicing how you say no. It doesn't have to be harsh or abrupt. Politeness goes a long way. For example, if a friend asks for a favor that you can't take on, you might respond, I'd love to help, but I'm really busy this week. Can we find another solution together? This approach shows that you care without sacrificing your own needs. Let's also consider the long-term benefits of saying no. By protecting your time and energy, you can focus on what truly matters. This could be pursuing a passion, spending time with loved ones, or simply resting when you need it. It also allows you to give your best to the commitments you do take on, rather than spreading yourself too thin. Think of it as quality over quantity, not just for your work or relationships, but for your life as a whole. Of course, there will be times when saying no feels especially tough. Maybe it's a close friend or family member asking for something, or perhaps it's an opportunity that sounds appealing but doesn't fit into your current priorities. In these moments, remind yourself that it's okay to pause and evaluate. You can say, let me think about it and get back to you. This gives you time to decide without feeling pressured. In the end, saying no is about empowerment. It's about taking control of your life and recognizing that you can't pour from an empty cup. So, the next time you're faced with a decision, ask yourself, will this add value to my life, or will it take away from what's most important to me? If it's the latter, don't be afraid to say no. You're not just rejecting a request, you're choosing yourself. What about you? Can you recall a time when saying no was difficult but ultimately rewarding? Remember, every no you say to unnecessary obligations is a yes to the life you truly want. It's not about being selfish. It's about being intentional. So, go ahead and practice using this small word with big power and watch how it transforms your days, your energy, and your happiness.